So, I'm going to start with this, and I'm going to start with the contour drawing. So this, I should explain, this is watercolor on UArt 400. And I've done some, I like doing this because it's another thing to do to just get over the fear of a blank page. And so if you just do this, you know, you can't go too far wrong, and you've got a starting point. And one thing I've discovered I've had different results with water on top of this watercolor with my pencil. So I've sprayed this with a little bit of Lasco fixative, because sometimes the pencil, when I add water, bleeds more than I want it to. So I'm hoping it won't this time.
Is that the Wallace paper?
No, this is UArt.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's UArt 400. So I'm just gonna kind of do a, oops. Ooh, this guy got wet. It's real, I might have to get that other one back again. You know, let's see. When these get wet, they get really, really soft. So this drawing's not terribly accurate, you might notice. Now, one of the interesting things about this photograph is the shadows. That kind of makes it. So I have to make sure to get those shadows in. All right, and it's really important to get this leaf, I think, pointing back into the composition so you get that circularity. And of course, negative shapes are really important.
Sandy, can I ask a question?
Sure, please do.
So on a lot of these that are coming around, you started out with this watercolor stroke stuff underneath, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm figuring you did.
Not all of them, but yeah, a lot of them. If you see drawing in it, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so this is definitely not accurate, but I think the composition works, so does what I wanted. Anyway, so it's similar to this, but I'm not trying to do a perfect drawing. Because what I'm going for in my drawings, paintings is some kind of freshness. And not precious, not perfect. So, then so now I'm going to decide where I want to apply some water. You always want to have a paper towel in hand, so if there are drips where you don't want drips, or if you want to lighten a puddle up, you can do that. You can use a flat edge brush, you can use a pointed brush. So here's the dark, I like that. I need a picture. So if this photograph doesn't have very strong light and shadow, if you use a photograph that has stronger light and shadow, you can start with the darks, and that's what a lot of times I do. This one I see a little darker there, a little darker towards the bottom here.
I can see your calligraphy background as you're making
Really?
strokes.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. I guess it's inevitable.
You just can't escape it.
Can't escape it, I know. Well, there's a little bit of shadow up here. So if I want to stop this drip, I can just do that. And if I want to, I'm going to leave some of these, lighten a place up, I can dab it. Okay, this is probably going to drip like crazy. I like also, you can get some nice sort of dry brush effects with this. Yeah, let's see what we can do. So I can pull this away from the line. Okay, there's a shadow here that I'm gonna get. This is kind of a dark area there. So, see how much fun it is just to do that part? And you know, you're still not working on the finished painting, so you don't have to worry about anything being perfect. Oh, I want to add a little more.
Do you always use black?
Yeah, well, somewhere in that pile of, let me see, it might be in that pile of pictures, there's one of roses that's in brown. I might not have sent that around. These pencils come in colors. Oh, here's one. I have a brown one and a red one and a blue one. So I did this with these roses with the brown one of these. It's okay. I mean, it looks like a sepia photo kind of effect. I don't like the red and the blue, and it comes in white also. And those just don't excite me. But, you know, let's try my relationship with ink. So this paper's not mounted, so I did my watercolor, which was obviously pretty wet. And I let it dry partially, and then I put weight on it to let it completely dry, because I have had the UArt kind of buckle up a little bit. I'm confusing my shadows here. So when you do this, one thing I've found is there's a temptation to really just color in the lines, and I don't want it to look like that, but there is a bit of that aspect, which I don't mind. I like the line showing, but I don't want it to be too careful. And Mike, when I did that one when you and Norbert and I were out painting, and you said you should make sure to take pictures of these because you might want to show somebody sometime.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so I think that's maybe.
I'm gonna get some pictures of various stages.
It's gonna have to dry a little bit. What I may do, well, this is drying.
Fabulous. She's not showing it.
What?
Your work. We like your work.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Great, fabulous, isn't it?
Oh,
Thank you very much. Okay, so, while this dries a little bit, I didn't bring a hair dryer.
I could set it in the sun if you want.
Yeah, would you? Thank you. So, I'm just doing a quick start on a different one. Same painting, different surface. This is not that velvet, but this is a weird other new paper. You know, I said I like to try different papers. This is called, you can get it on Amazon. It's Chinese. Norbert told me about it. It's called Maimaland, Maimaland. And you can find it on Amazon. And
It's our title, isn't it, Sandy, or not?
I believe so. And I think the back side of this, you know, that Canson Velvet has vinyl on the back, so it won't warp and it's waterproof. And this feels like it does too. And this takes wet media also. But I like the color of it. They were at first advertising it as kind of the replacement for Belgian Mist Wallace paper. It's not quite the same, but
Are any of these like pastel matte? Have you tried pastel matte?
I have, here, let me just set, you guys can feel this.
Oh,
rough. Yeah. Oh, it's surprisingly rough.
Yeah,
Gritty.
yeah. So what I really like about that is the color. And I'm gonna try something that, this will be an experiment for me too. I tried just a little bit of this kind of ochre color of pan pastel on that, and it was just such a great color combination. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna paint these pears on that stuff and see.
It's kind of like a sanded paper.
It is sanded,
Yeah, it was like it very much.
I think in the description, they say it's silicon sand, which is sand, I think. One proviso, so it comes in a weird size, it's like 19 and a half by 15 or something,
Does it
more
come in
like a,
rolls?
hmm?
By chance, can you get it in rolls or not?
I don't think so, and I got bigger sheets of it, mine were like this. When I looked it up online now, all I could find was pads that were 10 and a half by 7 or something like that,
Essentially, it's converted from European, isn't it?
probably.
Centimetres, sounds
Yeah,
like it.
yeah. And it'd be like if you use lacquer paper, it's a European size,
Right,
so it's not our 18 by 24 kind of size. So, I'm just gonna, I don't think I'm gonna put water on this because I don't wanna wait for it to dry. I'm gonna do a little sketch. What time is it? Okay, we're good. That should dry really fast. So the thing that I love about this is this curve. I'd like to get that right.
Now, are you using one of those water-soluble pencils?
Nope, I'm just using a graphite pencil.
What's she using? Graphite.
Just a pencil. I'll do this drawing maybe a little bit better. This one, the scale's a little bit better than my first one, if we care. Okay, so if you never have seen the work of Egon Schiele, you might want to look him up. He did some very edgy, erotic sort of figures, and he also did some beautiful landscapes, and his drawings are just, and his sunflowers, fantastic. They're just nothing is a smooth curve, nothing is sweet about his work, but it's really fascinating.
What's his name again?
It's Egon, E-G-O-N, Sheila, S-C-H-I-E-L-E.
Was he, a band artist? Even when Hitler was banning certain artists?
I think he died before then but he could have been. His artwork might have been. He died in the Spanish flu epidemic.
Oh,
So isn't that the teens,
Yeah.
19, 16, 17?
And pretty young, I
Very young. Uh-huh. Very interesting, sort of expressionist, I guess you would say. There's a big exhibition of his work coming up in, at the Leopold Museum in Vienna, which I would love to go see. I don't know if I will. Okay, there's that.
Yeah.
Huh?
Field trip to Vienna.
Yeah.
Deb's organizing a field trip there.
Good. Okay, here's the whole reason I wanted to. So now I'm experimenting. I have to admit, I did a practice painting for you before I did this, and of the big size. And what was I gonna say? And that was the first time I ever really did a painting with pen pastel. So this is the second time. But I've watched the videos, so. What else do we need to know?
Well, I was gonna ask you about your pan pastels and how you like them, but you're just starting out with them.
So I'll show you.
Okay.
So you use these sponges.
Yeah.
You know, the best video is the one of,
Marla?
no, who does the horses
Oh,
and.
Don Emerson?
Don Emerson, yes. And you can see that on YouTube, and she has a long video that she did for the company that makes them, and it's really good. But look at this. Isn't that just gorgeous?
Yeah.
Don Emerson, is that what y'all said?
Yeah. So I think the thing with these is to let the strokes show. I can go from this ochre to the light yellow, and I didn't clean this sponge.
Oh, that's cool. Wow.
So like I said, I'm playing that because I don't totally know what I'm doing, but I did practice once. Not doing this though. So I just think that because I strive for a kind of transparency, this is a good medium for me to play around with some more.
When I got pan pastels, they came like with these little plastic things and you put like little fingers on them, but are those
Yeah.
sponges from pan pastel as well?
It's a different company that makes these, what are they called? They sell them where they sell pan pastels. Softies or something like that. They're kind of like makeup sponges, and so they come in all these different sizes.
Oh, cool.
I don't like those little bitty ones because I don't like to work that tight.
Right.
I have some, and I think they are called softies.
Okay,
I think so.
yeah, and they're those little,
Little- Just for little
tiny
spaces.
little,
Mhm. There's a variety of,
yeah.
And they're called softies?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, I've not heard of that.
But we had a demo by a woman who does strictly pan pastels once, and she said, don't try and just get makeup sponges, cause it isn't quite the same. They look the same, they kinda feel the same. So, I think this color is just really fun,
That's a nice color.
and I can get a little, but it just kind of begs you to work loose, I think. And you can get some line like that. And then what you can do is just wipe it off on blue paper towels, those shop towels, in between colors. So, you know, those little thingies that they come with might be good for a line like that, I suppose. I don't know. If you wanted to do the, you don't have to do the whole painting in pen pastel though. And I tend to paint with my stick pastels. I paint with the side of the pastel most of the time anyway. So this kind of suits me. So I'm not gonna finish this whole thing, but I wanted to show you how this works just on paper like this. And how you can play with it. So you can layer it and, let's see, let's add a little.
That's nice.
I don't know what I would do for the shadow on here. Well, I'm gonna just do one more leaf for right now. I wanna see what this looks like. Maybe I'll try using this. I'll have to watch some more videos see what you're supposed to do. So I like the nuances of color you can get with layering that.
It's like a chord of color.
Yeah, yeah, a musical chord, yeah. Now, I'm just curious what, that's not. I was thinking about the shadow. That's not a bad color for that, whatever it is. So, and if you watch Dawn Emerson, she's really good at manipulating this to get really interesting line.
Does she put on that kind of paper as well? Do you know?
I think she talks about it, she does a little bit, she starts on Canson, Metant. But I think she did use some UArt. Then she does her stuff with printmaking kind of stuff and monoprint and combining them. This you can also, here's a good little hint. This eraser, M-O-N-O, is a good one if I wanted to erase pastel. It works pretty well. So there was another kind that I bought a whole bunch of called Moo, M-O-O, that was a white plastic. Do you have some? They don't make them anymore.
No,
Yeah,
sadly.
yeah, but this one works about as well. So let me see if this thing's cut.
Interesting, colours blend together
Yes.
really softly, don't they? Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yes.
So I could, I'm like tempted now. I could go back and draw on top of this. It'd be kind of fun. I like that. Okay, so this one is now well done. And do you guys want to break it all? Do you take breaks? Okay.
Let you do.
Okay. So now I'm gonna use this big one. When I used to try and do watercolor, I discovered my best paintings were small paintings with a big brush. The bigger the brush, the better the painting. Because I didn't futz around.
Like green.
That's kind of nice. That's a very scrawny pair.
So you're kind of mixing colors a little.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they really don't get fouled up.
Huh.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
This will be interesting. So I guess, no, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 20. So I have 26 colors. I think now they come in a whole lot more colors than that. But now, I like leaving all of this stuff showing. All right, kind of thing up to it. I like the way these colors are mixing.
It goes well with the watercolor.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that combination.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And I like how you can see the ink wash flavor underneath. I want that more yellow. Let's see. Now, we also have, I saw this color at the art supply store and I thought, ooh, I could use that. And I didn't even realize it's iridescent, but what the heck.
So where are you getting your pen pastels?
Well, actually, somebody gave me a whole bunch of them, but you can get them online or Gyrie's. What do you have here?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Likewise.
They're not kidding, we don't have it, really.
Yeah.
We really don't.
So you probably want to go.
Like 8 years, we
Yeah.
haven't.
I go to Santa Fe, you go to the artisan.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, well, you can get them online
Yeah.
easily. I think Golden maybe bought this company.
I think so.
Yeah, so it's easy to get through Blick or anybody now.
You know, I will say, Sandy, that Dawn Emerson, when she paints in front of an audience, she dances.
Oh.
Does she?
She what? She what?
Dances.
Oh.
High expectations here.
Well, some of us know that Sandy has ballroom dancing experience.
I didn't say I was ever good. We used to go to the rec center when there was nobody there in the morning. They let us practice tango in front of the big mirrors.
Oh.